At many organizations, leave management is processed with paper or email, even though HR systems are in place. This practice is prevalent at many large organizations. Examples of leave of absence requests include pregnancy, disability, sick leave, paid family leave, FMLA, personal bereavement, jury witness duty, or military. Ideally, an organization would provide a leave request application form in their intranet so employees can use it to request a leave of absence. Our goal in this learning line is to learn how to create this experience. Leave management processes require employee records, which we will build today using smart objects. At a later skill station, we will create a digital workstream to process those. We will also create web forms to accomplish this. So we will start today by building a smart object called employees. To access your smart object management area, look for the gear icon to the left of your user profile photo. In the pull-down menu, select Smart Object Management. And here you will see your smart objects. You'll have a default one for you created here. So what are smart objects? Well, Pulpstream uses smart objects to store master data lists such as locations, employees, business units, products, etc. Smart objects are basically Excel workbooks with multiple sheets. Each sheet is a group. We use smart objects to access information that's stored in that group. And groups will store hierarchical information such as departments, divisions, or business units. When you make user accounts for your team, they will be assigned to a group based on their department or business unit. Group membership determines what data a user is able to see in the system. Unless a user is a designated admin, that user will be limited to the data associated with their group and/or subgroup. So let's create a new smart object by clicking on the New Smart Object button. Give it a title of Employees, and the ID will auto-populate. Next, we will tell Pulpstream that this type of object is local, and we do that by selecting that option from this pull-down menu right here. We'll learn about the other types of objects later. Next, let's create the fields in our employee object together. And if at any point I'm speaking too fast, just pause the video. I'll be here when you're ready to continue. So our employee object needs the following fields. We're going to need a name, an email address, an employee number, leave accrued, location, and manager email. So in the fields section, you'll see this text, add another field. Click on that to create the 6 fields that we need to store this information, and go ahead and type that in. And the title of the field, which we are typing in, is what will be seen in the user interface on a web or a mobile device. This name is what Pulpstream uses to organize the information on the back end, so the name is going to auto-populate every single time you create a title. It's used in expressions and APIs, so no need to change it now. Now the type of information is what we need to declare to Pulpstream to tell it how to handle this field of information. So for the name field, the type of information will be text, so we'll just leave that there. So for email, we're going to select that this type of information as an email address. Employee number, we'll leave that a text field. Leave accrued, this type of field will be a number. Location, this type of field will be a smart object, and the type of smart object will be group. And last but not least, we need a manager email address, and that will be of the type email. Now that we've created the fields in our employee object, we need to edit some settings. So let's save our new smart object. And in the top right corner of our options here, there's a gear icon. Click on that gear icon, and in the pull-down menu, select Settings. As you see, we have a few tabs here in the Manage Settings pop-up. Let's familiarize ourselves with a few of the options here. So on the General tab, you will find the record key settings. A record key is a record's unique ID. Every record has one. This record key plays an important role in the design of an object, so exercise care when creating this. During integration with other systems, duplicate records are typically identified using record keys. They are also merged using these. When new records are being created and added with forms, if the key is already present, an error will be shown to the end user. A record key can be a random ID, which is useful when you can truly never identify a unique attribute of a record. It can be an attribute, such as a social security number or an employee number. It can also be a combination of multiple fields concatenated together. Today, we will assume that the organization assigns employees a unique employee number. So we will use that instead of randomly assigning an ID. Underneath that is the record identifier. A record identifier is used when a record is referred to in a form or in a list. For example, it can be a combination of a group ID and a group number. To find this, you would open the settings in your group to see the identifier. Just like a record key, a record identifier can also be a single attribute such as an employee name. It can also be a combination such as an employee name and a number. Let's set up a custom record identifier for the employee object. In the record identifier pull-down menu, choose Custom Identifier. We are going to use the Merge Field Value Finder to build an expression in this custom identifier field. This Finder tool is accessible by clicking on the magnifying glass icon. So in here, look for the employee number, copy that merge field value, paste it in, type a dash to separate it, and access the Finder tool again to find the employee name. Underneath this field, you will see two options to track notes and attachments in the Smart Object records. You can try them later if you like. We are going to leave them unchecked for now. To conclude our modifications, we will select employee number to be our record key. So save your changes. Back on our Smart Object Management dashboard, we need to review our employee number field. Many organizations assign employee numbers with a specific format. Let's assume that our company uses 7 numbers with the first 2 segregated with a hyphen. For example, 12-12345. How would we make sure this format's enforced? To do this, we edit the Smart Object. To be able to access it, we're going to need to click on Edit to open it back up. Click on Advanced, and we're going to type in some pound signs to create the input format. Save your changes. Save your changes to the object. And it's been successfully updated. Next, we need to update the form associated with this object. In the top right part of the Smart Object Management dashboard, click on that gear icon once more and select Manage Form in the pull-down menu. And in the form that pops up, notice that fields have already been placed on the form. And if you hover your mouse over them, it reveals dotted lines and an edit pen. So we're going to click on this field to make it required. And to do this, we find the field attributes, pull down menu, and select required. And we're going to do this for all of the fields on this form. Type in some descriptive text that will allow an end user to understand what this form will be used for. And congratulations, you've built a smart object in which you can store employee records. Next, we will create 3 employee records. To do that, click on the Smart Objects text in the purple navigation menu to access that area. Then, click on the New button to add employees, complete with employee numbers. And you can see here that because we specified the format with those pound signs, the format will be enforced. So go ahead and do that on your own and write those employee numbers down because we're going to need those at future skill stations. While you do that, I'm going to go prepare for your visit to Skill Station 2. At Skill Station 2, we will learn how to build the digital leave of absence request stream to manage this business process. I'll see you there.